Hello there, guys. Today we're looking at a chess study from a famous composer called Leonid Kubbel. I've shown many of his work before, and this is as brilliant as the rest of them. The direction of the pawns is obvious here. They go up, of course, as the white pawns, and the black pawns goes down. So white to move here, and we are winning this, but it's not easy to see how. I think, anyway. You can have a look for yourself. Pause the video now and see if you can crack this one all the way to the end. White to move and win. Go ahead. And welcome back. Yep. Okay. The winning strategy here is get the rook over to g8 with a check, or get this queen, or maybe a checkmate together with his knight. But the question is, how are we going to do that? If we start with some slow move like rook c1, it's just too slow to go to g1 and then here. Black will have plenty of time to defend himself, perhaps move the queen away from the 8th rank first. And if we go with the rook to g1, Black can actually just keep on going with his queen here and cover this square here, and black is winning. And if we try something else like check on f1 first, king comes to e8, and we keep going with our king here to threaten checkmate, it's still too slow. Black can either keep on going with his king and escape on c7 or move d6. We are not winning this. We have to be more aggressive from the start. Okay, and when I say aggressive, the first thing I always look at is some nice little sacrifices, like knight d6. Could that be something? No, 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 it's not good at all. Black will actually have a check here. King must move, another check, and we lose our rook, and then it's goodbye. So actually, whatever we do with our knight, if we move it somewhere, Black will get the opportunity to go down to h1 with a check, and it gets the queen involved in a much better place than he is right now. So when we are saying aggressive, we have to find some other cool sacrifice. And why not this pawn? e6. It blocks and secures this f7 square, and also it threatens the rook in two moves to go down there to checkmate or win the queen. And this is not easy for black to defend against. Well, actually, it's not easy at all because he's losing. But let's look at what happens. Okay, as I say, we are, of course, threatening rook to g5. So if the queen goes up to b7, we will go to g5, and then we will soon see that he's forced to take this pawn. Otherwise, it's going to be a checkmate here on g8. So it doesn't make any sense to move the queen to b7 first. He can first take this pawn, and we're going to look at that because that's the main line. Look at something else like queen b8. What's happening there? Well, then we can get a check first, and the king goes to e8. We go down with our king here, and now we are getting our rook to f8 next move, and we're going to win the queen, or in this case, checkmate. Not good at all. So black needs to do some other defense. And as I said, this is the main line. But let's look at what happens if he doesn't take there first. If he moves the pawn to d6, it's not good enough. Then we just go to g5, and it's going to be the checkmate here, next move. So what happens if he goes two steps? It blocks the way for the rook, and it also threatens the knight. Looks pretty decent. But now we got this pawn here covering f7. Now we have actually time to go down with the rook and get it over here. And we choose to go to c2 and not c1, because if black plays his queen to b8, we don't want to give him the chance to check on h2. So it's better to go to c2 right away. And this is a pretty easy win for white. If it goes to e8, well, we just carry on with our plan and we're going to checkmate or win the queen. And actually, there's no way he can escape this. If he goes up to b7 now, well, simply go to g2 anyway. And again, it's going to be checkmate here. So let's go over to the main line. Black takes the pawn on e6. And we continue with our plan. Rook g5. That's an obvious move, so you don't have to think about that. Now black has some options. As I said before, he might go to b7, but it was better for him to take here first, because now he can choose between going to b7 or c6 or try something else. But something else is not good. If he moves the king or the pawn, and then we're just gonna win his queen. Let's look at this. King f7. If he tries that, well, then we first give a check and it's forced back, and then we win the queen. Otherwise, we win the queen right away. So the queen has to be moved, and you only have b7 or c6. So let's start with b7. Oh, sorry, the king is on f8. Now, queen b7. How do we win here as white? You can pause the video again if you haven't found this already and see if you can solve this. How do we win from here? Okay, here we go. First move, we start by getting the king up to f7, and then we finish him off with a beautiful fork. Check to the king and to the queen. And then you say, wait a minute, this is hanging. We can simply take it. Well, just let him have it if he wants to, because then we have a check and we will get the queen, and then this pawn will fall and white wins easy. Okay, so that's what happens after queen b7. If it goes to c6, it's a bit more tricky actually, but we win here also. But this is harder to find. If you want to go take a go at this, pause the video again. Okay, again we start with rook g8. We want the king to come up to f7. We can control it better there. And now we have this nice little check on g5 with our knight. Again, forced move, king f6. And what is the point of all these moves? Well, we're setting it up for the beautiful move that comes next. Can you see it? Here it comes. Knight f3. Look at this. We are covering both these squares, so we are threatening checkmate. The queen still cannot give a check anywhere because we also blocked this diagonal, so it can't come down. And if it takes the knight, well, it's a sacrifice, but it's a sham sacrifice, because we will simply give a check and take the queen, and of course, easy win from there. So what can he do next? Well, nothing really. He can go with the king here, but of course, then you see that we have a fork right away. It's actually a little bit better to give a check first, get the king away from his pawns, and then take the fork. But of course, it's winning either way. So that's about it, I think. I think I covered all the variations. Probably there are some that you want to add. Then just write comments in the comment section about it, and let's see what we can look at then. But beautiful study from the beginning. Just waste your pawn to get your rook to the great place up here on g8, and then you are winning this. Thank you everybody for watching. Have a great day. Bye bye.